She was young. She was really young. She was really. Hello, hi. Well, welcome to Let's Talk. New here, let's just get to it. So I saw this video. I was on YouTube, and then I happened to come across this video about a woman that went to Miami to get plastic surgery, went to a recovering home, and later on died. Now, I'm going to do a reaction about this video, and I also want you guys to comment down, write down your thoughts. But this is a little bit dear to me because it's not because, I know somebody who's like went and had plastic surgery and passed away. No, this is because I'm seeing this pattern of this quick fix, in the beauty industry, like people going through stuff, and then like instead of working through the uncomfortableness of accepting of stuff, the journey, just so quick to get into the knife, like if we don't like the way we look, whoop, sweet, go get a plane, get under the knife. And I know every surgery, whether it's medical, cosmetic, any type of surgery, there's always some risks. There's always risks, not some, but there's always risks. And there's been cases where people went through under the knife and not come out. But for this, I'm seeing a lot of women going under the knife. They're either going to a different country or going to some cheap clinic, not waking up. And it is sad. It is sad because that's something that they were looking for. They were not looking forward to not make it out alive, no, but they were looking forward to the result. They were looking forward to look good, but extend their 6 feet down under. And this is really sad. Breaks my heart that I'm seeing these beautiful women. I don't know what goes on through their mind, but they're thinking that if I just need to do this type of surgery, if I just need to do this, I would look beautiful. Or if I just need to do this, maybe I will gain back my old. But I don't know. And I also don't know what the reason is for the surgery, but it just breaks my heart that they go through this type of surgery and then they don't come out alive. I am going to react. This was on the news by NBC6 South Florida. She was young. She was really young. She was really young, and let's just get into it. Let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Okay.
Well, tonight, only on 6, we are hearing from the family of a young mother who came to Miami from Las Vegas for a cosmetic procedure and died hours later inside a home advertising as a post-surgery recovery house.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri spoke with the woman's mother and has why she is calling for change to keep others safe.
Monique's mother, Wakila, tells me she wants to share her daughter's story, but asked not to show her face on camera in an effort to protect her privacy as she mourns the loss of her first child.
Wow. And that is her first child. That is just heartbreaking. It's hurt when you lose a child. It really does hurt. I know a few people around me that went through that, and it's just heartbreaking, when your son or your daughter goes first before you do. It's just heartbreaking. It is.
It was supposed to be an adventure documented on social media.
We get us some coffee right now, though.
2 sisters traveling to South Florida from Nevada to get cosmetic surgery and recover together.
They were really excited.
According to their mother, Miller and her 19-year-old sister, Kiera, both underwent procedures at Havana Plastic Surgery Clinic on West Flagler Street.
2 daughters? 2? Oh my goodness. One was 19 and the other one was 28. Wow. Wow.
In early March. Afterward, she says they came here to a business operating out of this home on Southwest 4th Street called Kayla's Recovery House. According to their family, the sisters learned of this so-called recovery house through social media, and that's how they decided to stay here following their surgery. But Monique never made it home.
I have to remind myself every day that this is real. Monique is not coming back.
Monique's mother, Wakila, tells me she wants to share her daughter's story. Monique was a new mother herself to a 1-year-old girl.
My daughter's supposed to be here with her daughter, and unfortunately she's not.
Instead, according to this Miami police report, officers and fire operating as an illegal post-plastic surgery recovery home.
Wow, it's so sad. She's a new mom. This just breaks my heart. You know, ladies, ladies, honestly, think twice before you want to do this type of surgery. Like, really think twice, especially if you're Christian. Take it to God. Ask God. Be like, God, should I do this? Is this? I'm a Christian myself, so I always ask God first. Acknowledge the Lord and your ways. To acknowledge Him first. I will go to God. I will ask Him, and if His answer is no, I will listen to that because that no could be a protection, could be protecting you from something. They're really young. They were young. Wow, wow. This is just so sad. Like, seriously, ladies, you got to think twice. Every surgery is risky. Whether it is medically, whether it's like for life saving. But when it comes to this type of surgery, like these cosmetic surgeries, I really want you guys to think about it, to really consider first. Like, think about it first. Don't just be like following what you see other women are doing, other people are doing, like showing like the before. No, think about it, because one thing I noticed about social media, they don't share everything. They really don't. They really don't. All we see is just the glamorous. We don't see like the part where like it was hard for them to like get through recovery. We don't see the crying, the like the suffering. We don't see everything. We don't see like the dark post surgery of like recovery. It's hard. We don't see those. We don't see those things. All we just see is the before and then the after, and it's not okay, and it sucks, and you don't see what they go through. You don't see what they're going through in between. You're not seeing it. No, you're only seeing the result. And so many of these young ladies, they're taking so much risk, thinking like their life is going to be like that. But you don't know, you might be that one person that do not make it out. You got to think about it really carefully. And if you're a Christian, I would highly recommend you to talk to God about it. Ask Him for advice. Really do. If you don't want to do this type of surgery and then never come back and never make it out. And that's sad. That's sad. That's really sad. My heart goes out for this family.
Operating as an illegal post-plastic surgery recovery home.
Yo, these shady clinics, these shady recovering places, y'all gotta be careful. Y'all gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I'm telling you, be careful. I don't know what is going on with Miami. Why is it always Miami? Miami. That place. Be careful. I mean, Miami is beautiful, but I've been there. Be careful. Be careful. I think it was Cardi B, that talked about how like she almost died by going to this like shady place to do plastic surgery. I don't remember if it was a clinic or not, but she almost died. And that's like Cardi B. She has a lot of money. She's, y'all, be careful. Do your research. Do your research, and think twice. Don't think twice. Think 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, 7 times, 10 times. Think it. Do your research. Very serious too. It is.
Inside, they found Amonique already dead. And
she was already dead. Oh, wow.
Showing signs of rigor mortis, an indication she had likely been dead for hours. They describe her as heavily bandaged, face down on a bed.
From what Kiara is saying, that a muscle relaxer was given and possibly multiple Percocets.
Her sister Kiara also told police staff gave Amonique medication, which is redacted in this report. She went to sleep but never woke up.
First, the response was, she's fine, nothing is wrong. But once they realized that she had passed away, then it wasn't that they treated it like an emergency, but panic started to set in.
To be clear, we don't know yet what exactly caused Amonique's death.
That's correct.
At this time, the medical examiner has not linked any medication to Amonique's death and is still working to determine the cause and manner of death. We contacted an attorney for the woman who runs Kayla's recovery, Kayla Oliver, to ask about all of this. He told us we don't comment on pending investigations.
Someone like you have been reporting on this for 4 years. So where's the legislation? Where's the follow-up?
We really need to pray for this family, Pray that God give comfort and help this mom and the rest of the family well. And I pray that God, strengthens them, and because it's sad. It is sad. A couple things I also want to say is like these beauty trends, like they've been impacting a lot of women's self-esteem. If I'll be honest, I remember when I was like, in my teenage, I was a teenager. Yeah, I'm a curvy woman. You can see it right there. Like, I'm curvy, and especially now that I've put on weight, it's very short. But when I was young, when I was in middle school, high school, I still had curves. When I look back, I was like, dang, girl, you skinny. I remember, I didn't like my body. I really did not like my body. So when I was like, seeing like today now, like women are getting like these BBLs and these breast augmentations, this type of surgeries, also have more curves. I just think like, why did I hate myself? Why did I hate myself? Why did I did not like my body? Why did I not like the way that I look? Like, why did I think, there was something wrong with me having a butt? Like, seriously, why? Because of these beauty trends. Glink, 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 glink. These beauty trends. It does impact our self-esteem. It impacts our body image. It impacts our mental health. It impacts our confidence. It leads to so many like inadequacies and low self-esteem to the point where like we think like there's something wrong with us, whereas like there's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong. You are perfectly just the way that God made you. God makes no mistake. That is for sure. That is something I learned and that have stuck with me because God makes no mistake. Here I am. I'm like want to encourage women to also learn to love themselves because you don't want to put yourself in this situation where you end up regretting yourself because you follow a beauty trend change every decade. I'm telling you, every decade. Now it's the slim is in. With 2025, we see a lot of these celebrities who have had these, lot of these surgeries. Now they're reducing it and they're now looking slimmer. People are taking medications, to lose weight. Now slim is in. All it just shows you is like these trends, these beauty, they just come and go. They're like the wind. It's like vain, in my opinion. Like they're not concrete. They're just like the wind. They come and they go. You don't know when they're coming and you don't know when they're leaving. They're going to be here today and they're gone tomorrow. And so you can't base your body, your appearance, your beauty based on that. You cannot do that. And if you're a Christian, only base it on the Word of God. That is all I would say. Only based on the Word of God. Don't look at this. Don't look at these. Wait, I need to make my soup. Don't look at these, beauty standards and be like, oh, this is how I need to look in order to be pretty. No, that's false. That is fake. That is fake. You don't need to look like those standards in order to be pretty and to be beauty. No, you're already beautiful. You're already pretty. God made you the way you are because He knows that with that face, with those eyes, with those nose, that skin color, you're perfect the way you are. And I'll be honest, when I see these beauties, I just laugh because I know they're not going to be here in 20 years. They're not. Like right now, slim is in. For me, I'm not going to like be harsh on my body to try to fit this narrative that is today now. That is today. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is just focus what is good for my body. What I need to do. But we have got to start loving ourselves. We have to. We have to. And maybe it's time to, take a break from this social media. I'm not saying social media is evil. No, it's good. It's good. It's a tool. To me, social media is a tool. It has been used well. As a business owner, I use it all the time for my business. But I also notice how it has been abused. It has been abused. And when it's abused, it's hurting more than it's helping. I just hope one day we come to realize like what we see on social media is not real. These glamorous, these like, they're not real. They're not real. We have to be careful what we see, what we watch on social media, and we have to be attentive to what we put in our mind, in our soul, and our body. One thing I would say is just learn to love yourself. Accept your body the way it is. Do whatever you need to do to like be healthy. If it means like talking to a medical professional to help you cut back some weight. If it needs changing your lifestyle. Like do, but like don't focus so much on this beauty trend that just come and go, because they'll be here today and gone tomorrow. So love yourself. You're perfect just the way you are. God makes no mistake, and you're beautiful. Be blessed. Stay blessed. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye. Out.